Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, you're welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and please turn on the bell as well. Thank you so much. So the previous update about Jodha and AKBAR was how Jalal finally met Jodha and Jalal saved Jodha from Khaibar. But it wasn't as if Khaibar was also hurting Jodha. So Jodha pleaded with Jalal not to hurt Khaibar and Jalal agreed. And Jodha went to the jail to stop Sharifudeen from beating Khaibar. And this got Amida and Jalal angry, and Jalal scolded Jodha for that. That was the last update. Let's continue from there. Jodha cries and says that she hurt everyone's feelings, but she was just doing what is right, and how can Jalal scold her like that? Moti says that Jodha should not worry because Jalal will come to make up for Jodha's mood soon, and Moti says that Jodha should come to have a bath and get ready. Jodha says that for whom should she get ready because Jalal is angry with her. Moti says that when a wife is pregnant, then a space is always ready to be created between husband and wife, so Jodha should not create that space between herself and Jalal. Jodha says that nothing like that would happen because Jalal loves her a lot and she is giving birth to his child. Moti says that she knows that nothing would happen, so Jodha should get ready to welcome Jalal. Rukaya comes to Amida and asks her to come for iftar. Rukaya says that on iftar time, Amida should not get angry or scold anyone because it is not good. Rukaya says that she knows that Jodha used to be Amida's favorite, but these days, Jodha is breaking all the rules and she is acting stubborn. And Amida also thinks that Jodha is becoming stubborn day by day, and maybe it is because Jalal is lenient with her. Jalal was going through the palace and he thinks that he shouldn't have scolded Jodha like that, and Jodha must be feeling bad now, so he should go to her, and Jalal asks a maid that where is Jodha. The maid says that Jodha is in the royal bathroom, and Jalal goes to the bathroom and sees a lady in the bathtub, and Jalal thinks that it was Jodha and he smiles. Meanwhile, in the room, Moti was making Jodha ready, and Moti says that Jodha's mood will be fine when Jalal will come to her. While getting ready, Jodha feels restless and says that she feels like something bad is going to happen and it will be something very shocking. Moti says that Jodha should not worry because it is just Jodha's thought. At the royal bathtub, Jalal takes off his suit and he comes into the bathtub and hugs the lady that was in the bathtub from the back and says that he loves her a lot. A maid comes to Jodha and says that Jodha is here, but she thought that Jodha was taking a bath because Jalal was finding Jodha, and she has told Jalal that Jodha is in the royal bathroom. So should she send Jalal to Jodha from the bathtub? But Jodha says no, she will go to the royal bathroom to meet Jalal. Jalal was hugging the lady in the bathtub, and the lady turns and her face was shown, but she was not Jodha, she was someone else, and Jalal quickly leaves her and asks that who is she. Jodha comes there and says that the Jalal called her here, and Jodha was shocked to see Jalal's naked body in the bathtub with another woman, and Jodha was really odd. Jodha says that she will come back after some time and sorry for disturbing them. Jalal was shocked and he quickly comes out of the bathtub and he wears his clothes and he runs to Jodha and says to Jodha that he thought that it was Jodha that was in the bathtub. Jodha asked that who is that lady, and the lady said from where she was hiding that her clothes got dirty, so she came here to take a bath, and she is sorry, and the lady quickly leaves from there. Jalal says to Jodha that it was a mistake, and Jodha smiles and says that she trusts Jalal, and by the way, Jalal is a king, so Jalal can be with anyone else. Jalal says that it is nothing like that, and Jodha says that Jalal should not worry because she has faith in Jalal. And Jodha asks Jalal while Jalal couldn't stop remembering the face of the lady he met in the bathtub. Someone was practicing sword fighting by cutting pillows and getting violent while the person's face was covered. Resham comes there and catch the person, and Resham says that she has caught a thief and now Ma'am Anga will not spare the thief. The person shows her face and says that she is Javeda and she was only practicing sword fighting to become like Jodha. Javeda says that someone never knows when they will be kidnapped by a beast like Khaibar, so she was practicing to know how to fight like Jodha. Resham says that but the beast has already been caught, and Javeda says that Resham doesn't know when she would need to fight, so Resham should let her do the sword fighting, and Javeda continued. At night, Jalal was in deep thought and he makes a painting, and the painting turns out to be the lady he met in the bathtub. Jalal was looking at the painting and Jodha comes there. Jalal says that Jodha should not be walking around in this condition, but Jodha says that she had to come because she has to say sorry for her mistake of going to meet Khaibar and for hurting Jalal and Amida. Jalal says that he is also sorry for scolding Jodha, but Khaibar is not a human, so Jodha should stay away from him, and he is sorry for the bathroom mistake as well. Jodha says that Jalal should not worry because she trusts Jalal that Jalal will not do anything wrong. Jodha saw the painting that Jalal has made, and Jodha says that so Jalal completed the painting, but Jodha was shocked after looking closely, and the painting turns out to be the painting of the lady in the bathtub, and Jodha feels bad, but Jodha quickly hides her feelings. Jalal says that he doesn't know why, but the lady in the painting was in his thought, so he decided to make the painting. Jodha feels bad again, but she says that it is a good painting, and Jodha leaves from there. Jalal looks at the painting and remembered how he met the lady in the bathtub, and Jalal says that this painting is the same face of the lady he met in the bathtub, and who is she that he made her painting? Rukaya comes there and says that wow, the painting is very beautiful. Jalal says that so it is Rukaya, but he got afraid. Rukaya says that King Jalal got afraid only with her voice. And what is Jalal hiding? Jalal says that why will he hide anything from Rukaya? Because Rukaya will still find out. Because Rukaya is his childhood friend. Rukaya thinks that it was an artist that made the painting. And Rukaya praised the artist in her mind. And Rukaya asks Jalal if they can play chess together. And Jalal says why not? And they leave. But then Jalal looks back at the painting. In the court, some people came from Kabul to get accommodation in Agra, and Jalal says to Adgar that Adgar have to check them all because they cannot trust anyone, and Jalal asks them to call them into the court, and all the people comes there, and they request Jalal to let them stay in Agra. Jalal says that they can all stay in Agra, but the Mughal rules will not change for any one of them, and they have to follow all the rules, and they all have to show their identity to Adgar. The veil of a lady among the people comes off because of the wind, and Jalal was shocked to see that the lady is the same lady that he hugged in the bathtub, and the lady looks at Jalal and feels awkward, and Jalal also keeps looking at the lady. The man that was with the lady, who happens to be the lady's husband, saw how Jalal was looking at the lady, and the man asked the lady to put her veil on her face, and he asked the lady why Jalal is looking at her like that. The lady says that she has met Jalal yesterday, and the lady was about to explain how she met Jalal, but the man cut in and says that the lady should pray that Jalal doesn't recognize her, else she will see hell. Adgar says that they can all stay there till he will check their national identity, but Jalal says no need, and Rukaya was shocked as to why Jalal suddenly changed his decision of them checking the people's identity before allowing them to stay in Agra. Jalal says that they are their people and it is his responsibility to help them. Jalal asks the man that came with the lady that what was he doing before, and the man says that he is the finance assistant of Mark Chichak, and Jalal orders Adgar to give all the people job, and Jalal keeps looking at the lady, and the lady also looks at Jalal, and then she looks down, and Rukaya comes from behind and sees Jalal glaring at the lady, and Rukaya was surprised. Rukaya asks Jalal that what is he thinking, and Jalal says to Rukaya that he was thinking that all the women of the people that came from Kabul should be employed and put them to work inside the palace, and Rukaya says okay, and Jalal asks Adgar to take all the people to the guest house of the castle. Rukaya was going, and Oshia asks Rukaya why she is worried. Rukaya says that the king doesn't doubt that maybe the people that came from Kabul and Bin Marakchak state may be enemies, but Jalal still allowed them to stay in the palace. Rukaya comes and sits with Jalal and Jodha, and Raham started singing. Amida says that Raham is such a good singer because every time he sings, everything flows with his voice. Jalal asks that who are the women that were with Raham, and Rukaya says that they were the same women that came, and Jalal asks her to assign them some work inside the palace, so she assigned them to work with Raham. The music was over and everyone enjoyed the music. Jalal says wow, and that was so good, and he becomes Raham's fan every time he listens to him, and Raham should let the people that comes with him sing to him. Raham says that Atifa just started working with him, but Jalal says that a new voice is always fresh, and Raham says that as Jalal says, Atifa removed her veil to sing, and she happens to be the same woman that Jalal was hugging in the bathtub, and the same woman that Jalal made her portrait earlier, and Jalal was surprised. Atifa comes forward to sing, and Jodha was shocked, and she wonders why the woman looked so familiar, and Jodha immediately remembered that she was the same woman that Jalal was with in the bathtub, and Jalal also made her portrait. Atifa started singing along with Raham, and everyone were lost in their music. Throughout, Jalal keeps looking at Atifa, and when they were done singing, Jalal stands up and says Subhanallah because Atifa's voice is such a melodious voice. Jalal says to Atifa that he has never heard a voice like that before, and Jalal takes off his necklace and hands it over to Atifa, and Jalal holds Atifa's hand in a lordful manner, and Ruqayyah and Jodha were not really happy seeing this. Atifa thanks Jalal and she was about to go, but Jalal stops her and says that Atifa doesn't have to go to the camp because she would be safe in the palace, and Atifa says thank you to Jalal. Then Jodha and Ruqayyah angrily leaves from there. Jalal again stops Atifa and says that he wants to tell Atifa once again that her voice is so melodious and he would have loved to listen to her voice over and over again. And Atifa greeted Jalal in a Muslim way, bringing her hand to her face. But Jalal holds Atifa's hand and says that why is there bruises on Atifa's hand? But Atifa feels shy and quickly leaves from there. Ruqayyah sees all this, and Ruqayyah says that now she knows that there is a new bird in the palace who sings well. Oh, poor Jodha. Atifa goes to her room smiling, and the man that came together with Atifa earlier comes in and says that Atifa looks so happy. Atifa says that Jalal is so nice, and the man says yeah, Jalal looks so nice, and the man immediately slaps Atifa and says that Atifa went to harem to sing for them, but Atifa quickly forgot who she is, and how dare Atifa take off her veil in public. The man angrily shouted at Atifa not to ever do something that will make him get angry, and the man leaves from there while Atifa sat down and started crying. Jodha was in her room and she says that why did Jalal lie to her, because now she can see that Jalal intentionally made the painting of Atifa. Later, Jodha thinks that she is thinking wrong of Jalal, and should she talk to Jalal about it or not, and Jodha was confused on what to do. Sharifudeen again was beating Khaibar with a very hot iron rod, and Khaibar keeps shouting. Sharifudeen says that today, he doesn't want to beat Khaibar and he only wants to say that he is jealous of Khaibar because Jodha is caring so much for Khaibar. Sharifudeen says that he loved Jodha and he attacked Amir for Jodha in order to marry Jodha, but Jalal got Jodha instead and married Jodha, but he cannot do anything about Jalal because he is a king, but he will not tolerate that Jodha is having feelings for Khaibar, and Sharifudeen beat Khaibar again. Khaibar looks at the cloth that was tied on his hand, and Khaibar tries to get the smell of it to calm himself down because it smells of Jodha, and Sharifudeen understands and says that one thing is common between them, and that thing is that they both love Jodha, but Jodha is Jalal's wife, and if Jodha would have gotten married to a common man, then a marriage can be broken, but nobody can look at Jodha now because she is the king's wife. Jalal was in his room and he thinks that he doesn't know, but there is something in Atifa, and Jalal looks at Atifa's painting and he thinks that he is attracted to Atifa, and Jalal smiles at Atifa's painting. In the jail, Khaibar was shouting and the soldier was standing there, and the soldier says that Khaibar should not shout because Khaibar was alive only because of their good-hearted king Jalal. So Khaibar should not shout, else he will stab Khaibar with his sword. Someone comes from behind and kills the soldier with his dagger, and Khaibar was surprised and the man takes off the soldier's clothes. Jalal was in the court with the ministers and he says to one Rajvanshi king that relationship between Mughals and Rajvanshis should be made, and this is good for a peaceful and united India, and the Rajvanshi king agrees with the relationship, and Jalal congratulates Adgar for the relationship, and Jalal greets the Rajvanshi king as well. The man that killed the soldier that was in the jail was Khaibar's master, and he comes to Khaibar and says that now Khaibar have to kill Jodha because Jodha is going to give Jalal the hair of the Mughals. So Khaibar have to kill Jodha, otherwise Mahaktuchak's mission will be incomplete. But Khaibar got angry with the man and he used his chest to push the man away, and the man falls on the floor and Khaibar shouted in anger. Rahim comes to Jodha and tells her about his toys. Jodha says that will Rahim share his toys with her, and Rahim says why not, because Jodha is his aunt. A maid brings some toys and Rahim was happy to see the toys. The maid took a toy and the toy falls on the ground and breaks, and Jodha sees the toy and says that the toy is already broken. The maid says sorry and Jodha tries to fix the toy, but Jodha finds a piece of cloth in the toy, and Jodha asks the maid on why a piece of cloth was hidden in the toy, but the maid was scared and she quickly leaves from there, while Jodha was just looking at the piece of cloth in surprise. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching till the end again, and if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a like and don't forget to share it and comment, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.